over his friends. Oh, so he was with you all night? Oh, okay. Okay, well, yeah, he has a whole girlfriend. Uh-huh. Yes, I'm his girlfriend. Yeah, and he has you saved in his phone as Chick-fil-A. Mm-hmm. Yes. No, just do a favor. Don't call him no more, because he might be dead. All right. Thanks. Bye.
So Roscoe,
Yo,
I'm watching this first video with the woman in the red and the way she treated her. I don't know if it's her boyfriend or her husband, but I know this is nonsense. I know she's accusing him of infidelity. She's talking to the girlfriend or the side chick, talking about she got her saved as Chick-fil-A. He saved her as Chick-fil-A in the phone. But what's your breakdown on this? I know we talked about stuff like this on Who Can You Trust? When you're living around people and they're able to violate you when you're asleep. But what's your breakdown of this particular incident?
dude, this is bugging me out. How many stories that we are happening to run into like this? This situation does remind me of our past, the past podcast that we did, where the guy gets the flower and he's getting off light compared to this guy. This chick should be signed up with the Ku Klux Klan, because she put a noose on this nigga. Right. That's what she did. Right. She straight up strung him up, and after she didn't hear what she wanted to hear, no tree, woo, got him. So yeah, this is ridiculous, and I know for me, Lord forbid. Now, first of all, I couldn't even imagine being with a chick who's in the mindset to wrap a belt around you or whatever that is that she does. But this kind of stuff, and just to make sure that we stick it to the topic, because I know we're talking about guys who deal with abuse and some of the reasons why they may be going through some of these things. This guy apparently, he must not have his own crib. Something must be going on, because there's no way in the world that I'm not. If the chick, she don't even gotta. Skip doing this, but if she even thought about it, mentioned something even close to this, chick, I gotta walk away from you. There's no way I could lay down next to somebody who has thoughts like this and can fathom doing stuff like this. But you got a lot of guys that's dealing with this only because they have to, and now we talking about a situation where COVID has happened, and a lot of guys are maybe out of work or whatever the situation may be, but there's a lot of displaced guys who are put in these situations, and chicks, they know how to pick them. I know me and you, we talked earlier, man, about how a lot of these chicks could be bullies, and they find these docile guys and guys who really don't exhibit kind of inner fortitude, if you will, so yeah, that's just kind of my take on it, bro. What you got?
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because I actually found this article on the National Law Review that talks about divorce rates during the COVID-19 pandemic. Mm-hmm. And one thing that it brings out, and this is going back to last year, it says by April, in the interest of divorce, it had increased by 34% in the United States alone. It said with newer couples being most likely to file for divorce. In fact, a full 20% of couples who had been married for 5 months or less sought divorce during this time compared to only 11% just a year earlier. And so, what I would assume, this is my takeaway, in a time of COVID, people are around their so-called loved ones more frequently than they would be. Like you mentioned, men are losing jobs, women are losing jobs. There's some households where both the man and the woman are losing their jobs. So you have the financial stress, the anxiety of bills piling up, evictions mounting. The love probably isn't as plentiful as it used to be when the money was flowing, because capitalist society, it dictates how the love flows in a household, unfortunately. However, when I see situations like this woman talking to the side chick and going to assault either her boyfriend or her husband, it does speak to a larger issue that's going on in our country and probably the world for that matter. And so, looking at this video, I want to segue into another video that deals with a similar situation. Might just be a little bit more horrific. So let's check this out.
So you want to go Peach's house, huh?
Oh, I ain't been over there.
You want to go Peach's house? You want to go Peach's house?
Okay, so after watching that particular video, because I think both of them are pretty horrible, but what's your take on this woman doing what she did to her husband?
Dude, I know that this is just a tiny bit past me and your time a little bit, but this reminds me of Al Green's. This is Al Green 2.0. is what this reminds me of. The old Al Grits story, if you will, that the old people used to talk about. But this reminds me of that, and this is more of that ridiculous behavior that I talked about before already. Like you and fellas, I really need y'all to understand that women show you early these kind of characteristics when you date them early, and so you could see some of these things from them, and yet and still, like, some of y'all are just so desperate to get in because it's a big booty or a pretty face, and throw your integrity and dignity out the window just to hit when dude, she could just as easy like just throw you out, or you just end up just out and just kind of in a tent or in a car, just trying to add some kind of refuge, to get away from this chick. So it's really sad that dudes is really going through stuff like this. Like, getting poured hot water on you is just like, oh my God, that's again. If this, I know the chick gotta still be alive, because we ain't heard no stories about this particular chick being dead or nothing. But this dude is a strong brother, strong.
You're right.
From just from the aspect of not killing her, but he may not be strong in some other areas. You know what I mean? Because he's dealing with this nutcase. So, that's all I got to say about that. It's just sad that we got guys going through this. That's all.
Yeah, the thing that sticks out to me, even going back to the previous video on Who Can You Trust, these types of women always are on the attack when these men are at their most vulnerable.
Right.
I wanted to bring up something. This is from the BBC News. It says, male domestic abuse victims sleeping in cars and tents. But it brings out how charities who deal with men who suffer domestic abuse have seen pleas for help jump up 60% during the time of the pandemic. It goes on to bring out that different charities said they have received over 13,000 calls and emails between April and July, and this is of 2020, compared to only 8,000. I say only 8,000 because it's just a short decrease from the 13,000 in the same period in 2019.
Right.
But there was an article in the Baltimore Metro News that talks about this very thing, how there's weapons abuse in a lot of these situations. Even one situation where it says during the COVID-19 outbreak, it says weapon abuse study found that in one case, a perpetrator, this perpetrator being the wife, worked in the healthcare sector and threatened to bring the virus home to infect the victim.
Oh my God.
So you got to think, what is she thinking about doing? Like, is she going to put it in a syringe? Is she going to wipe it on a glove, a rubber glove? Is she going to poison this man with COVID?
No, she gonna have that. She gonna have some crazy COVID person sneeze into her hand. So
we shouldn't be laughing.
Yeah, no, but this is what's gonna happen. We didn't make this story up,
right?
You know, but yeah, sneeze into my hand. You know, I put a glove over it so I make sure that I don't wash it. You know what I mean? Then I come home to you, take the glove off, smear it all on your face.
That's sad, man. That's so sad. That's so
nasty,
sad.
dude. It's nasty, dude. But these chicks with these sadistic thoughts, though, dude. You know, and they using, you talk about weapons and all that, because we've seen these other videos. You know, these chicks using the water and the one guy getting noosed up. You know, but these chicks are they able to think of they just sadistic, dude. You know what I mean? They the man the S&M without the fun and without the what's the word the word that they need to make them stop and shit. What's that word?
What, the safe word?
The safe word. Yes. Safe word. It's S&M with no safe word.
The only thing with S&M is supposed to be fun for both parties. I don't think any of these men are having fun.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, man, like something's going wrong. This is bad S&M.
But yeah, without getting into like the medical terminology and diagnosing these individuals, one thing I know about bullies, and let me just preface it with this. For all the good women out there, and I know there are good women out there, we ain't talking to y'all. So don't make this about you loving women who are supportive, even when times are good and when times are bad. The women who sit up here and they're man's biggest cheerleader, we ain't talking to y'all. We
talking to you toxic dogs.
We talking to you toxic dogs that sit up here, and you know who you are. You know when you have those ideas and you're plotting and scheming and you're sneaky to sit up here and do stuff just like this to your man. You need help. Whoever you are, you need help. And we here to give you that help. We finna tell these men how to get the proper help for situations like this. However,
Joe, show it to her one more again.
Help! This is help.
That's what they get. They step to a warhead.
Even before the abused male calls the cop, this is your help, bro. You are defending yourself from this animal, this savage. Call
that you tase that hoe and then call the police, man. That's what it is, man, dude. I had to call the popo on a couple of chicks, dude. I
am an advocate for self-defense, the Second Amendment right against male or female. If somebody's attacking you and they're putting your life in danger, you are a sovereign individual, male or female, and you have the right to protect yourself. First line of defense, though. At any rate, like I was saying, when it comes down to diagnosing these individuals, these men, I know they're not just hopping in abusive relationships. There's a process to this. And the process usually goes like this. Boy meets girl. Girl has some type of emotional imbalance. We don't know. I'm not here to make a diagnosis, but I know she's very loving in that honeymoon stage. And the thing about bullies, they know who to abuse and who not to abuse. And so they seek out these men who may have loving qualities to them, who will sit up here and go to war for them because there's a series of tests along the way. Oh, he's really for me. And it's at the moment that abusive female finds that this man is in her corner, she knows what she can and can't do. And that's when the abuse begins. And that's when it escalates to being choked in your sleep, or being slapped in the face with flour, or having hot water poured on you. And so to you men, you might want to get some help. You might have to be on your own, maybe even homeless for a little while to get out of that abusive type situation. There are hotlines. I'll attach some of the hotlines in the description. If you're one of those males who are being abused and you don't know how because society puts this stigma upon men, like if you're being abused by a woman, that you're not a man. But the other side of that coin is if you retaliate from a female abusing you, then you're the monster. So it's probably in your best interest to get away before someone's life is taken, because that's what's at stake here. Lives. And Warheads are just trying to be advocates for men on this particular video who don't have the courage or the strength or the confidence to step out and away from an abusive relationship. What you got, Roscoe?
No, I just want to say and piggyback off of what you were saying, rather, about just not being ashamed to step up and talk about this stuff, because I think a big part of this is the fact that society has kind of built up, there's no credence given to men who complain about this kind of stuff and make pleas about being abused and that kind of stuff. And that's something that we really, got to take serious more, because it's happening more. A lot of guys are out here in bad situations, so I'm just hoping the best for those dudes, and that's pretty much it, man.
Okay, so to all the loving sisters, women, period, we wish we could give you all roses and candy, all that good stuff. But to you crazy, horrible women out there, there's a song from the 90s that I want to sing for you before we go. And
I'll give it to him.
Girl, back girl, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when I tase you? Back girl, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when I tase you? I mix no, miss me, or whatever they said. Warheads out, baby.